So let's start off with what I got in the vise. It's a 50mm Waddington shank. I already prepped a mono loop at the back end. I prefer mono to braided or fire line because it doesn't crack after a couple of fish, so it will keep the hook riding horizontally, excuse me, even after a few fish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my tying thread, just like that, and advance to the back. Okay, cut that off. I'm going to create a little ball at the back end of the fly with some blue dubbing. Just a little bit, create a little ball. That should do it. Create a little ball. Just like so. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I try and tie in some Lady Amherst. I already prepped it in a little clip. It's a really easy way to do it. It's just with a dubbing loop. So I'll make a small dubbing loop, just like that. Get your dubbing twister inside of your loop. And then place your Lady Amherst in the loop. Just like that. Spread it a little bit. And then spin it. Here we go. Spin it again. There we go. Now I can just basically hackle it. So what I'll do is stroke the fibers back every turn I make. Just like that. There we go. Tie that off. Secure it with your tying thread. And there we go, our first hackle. What I'm going to do is now tie in my body. For that I'll use some black diamond braid. I'll tie it in underneath. Make sure you secure it. Here we go. Just wrap forward with my diamond braid. Just like that. Tie it off. The tying thread I'm using, by the way, is 8/0, so it's pretty thin. I like to use that over like a 6/0 because you get a really nice thin body and you don't get a big bulky head. So okay, once we've done that, I'm going to create again a little ball with some blue dubbing, just so you get a nice drop shape. Here we go. Make your little ball. There we go. So now I'm going to tie in some Rhea. What you could do is strip the Rhea just like this and hackle it, but the fibers will be too long for this fly because it's only a 50mm Waddington shank. So I'll just use it from the stem and cut it off and tie it in a little bit by little. You get the Rhea exactly the way you want it, measure it, cut it off, and then what I'll do is I'll tie it in. Just 2 loose wraps, spread it out a little bit with my fingernail. Here we go. Another wrap to secure it. Get the next bunch. Cut it off. Again, measure it. Here we go. measure it. There you go. Tie that in. 2 loose wraps, spread it with my fingernail. Yep, that looks good. There we go. Now what I like to do is, it's not necessary, but I like to tie in a couple more Lady Amherst fibers, just because I think it looks cool. So I'll just take a few, a little bit longer strands and tie them in one by one. Not too much, just a little, just a couple. There we go. A couple more. Maybe one more. Right here. Here we go. Okay. So once I've done that, I'll push everything back with my left hand and get everything right up against that ball of dubbing. Make it stand out. Here we go. So what I'm going to do now is tie in my flash. I like to use Comes Alive Electric Blue. Really cool color. And it looks beautiful with this black and blue Steelhead fly. I don't like to use too much flash, just a little bit, but I guess it's better to tie in a little bit more and, you know, cut a little bit out when you think it's too much, then put in not enough flash. There we go. About 5 or 6 strands of flash should suffice. There we go. Okay. And now we got the flash. Again, I'm going to create a little collar with Finn Racoon in the front. I've already prepped it in a little clip like this. Cut it to the desired length, just to make sure you comb out a little bit of the underfur, so it doesn't get big and bulky. Create your dubbing loop. Like that. All the way to the back. Just like that. Take a little dubbing twister, put it in. Take a clip with the Finn Racoon. Place the Finn Racoon inside of your dubbing loop. Like that. And again spin it. Just make sure it doesn't tangle any of the Lady Amherst, the Rhea, or some of the flashy bits. Then, once I've spun it, I'll take my dubbing needle. Make sure those really nice long guard hairs stand out. Okay, here we go. And then again, I can use it like I would with a normal hackle. Just make sure you stroke everything back with every turn you make. Here we go. One more. Wraps right against the Finn Racoon, and tie it off. There you go. Cut off my dubbing loop. I like to use, again, my dubbing needle. Just go around a little bit with your dubbing needle. Just like so. Okay. Now some wraps right against the Finn Racoon. Stroke it back right against the Finn Racoon. Just like that. I'm going to even out the head a little bit, so when I tie my chenille for the head, it won't slip. There we go. I'll get my chenille. Tie it in underneath. Oops. Here we go. All the way to the back. There we go. Now what I do, I use a little bit of Zap-A-Gap again, just to make sure the chenille won't slip. Just a little bit. Take your chenille. Make sure the Finn Racoon isn't tangled up in the chenille. Create your little head. What I like to do is I like to cross over, just like this, and then make one extra wrap right on top of it, just like so. And again, tie it off at the bottom of the fly. Go. Make sure you put some pressure on your tying thread. Really secure that chenille. I like to do is spin my vise so I can look at the bottom. Just cut that chenille off. Just like that. Trim it a little bit. Okay. Now correct your little head. And we're done. So what I'll do, I'll get a couple of half hitches right on there. That's enough because I'm going to use Zap-A-Gap again to secure it. I really like the Zap-A-Gap with the brush applicator. Works great. A little bit. Just to make sure you cover the whole fly. Cover all your thread wraps. Okay. There we go. We're finished. Nice Steelhead pattern for you. I hope you have enjoyed the first tie to throw. Check us out next time. Thanks for watching.